Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Throwdown. It's Jim Flanagan here, and my nose may be clogged up a bit. I know there's no football this Sunday because of Memorial Day weekend, but that's not going to prevent us here from doing the Throwdown. As promised, week after week, each week we bring you guys the show because there is indoor, there is recaps, and there's predictions on here. Plus, I got some ideas for the playoffs, which is coming up soon. We're in crunch mode here, Giant. There's only a couple weeks left before the playoffs. So without further ado, my partner, as always, Giant918.
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Guys, Jim Flanagan, my co-host and cohort, and partner in crime over here. You hear how he sounds like absolute shit. Not only is he sick as hell, practically on his deathbed, but he missed his kid's T-ball. He missed his kid's T-ball game tonight for the ACFL. So you know we got things going on tonight. I know, you know, we all know how hot it is over here at the ACFL. It's not only at West Rock, it's ACFL South. We got lots of things to go over tonight, and you can get some well-deserved rest this weekend. Jim Flanagan, and we're scheduled to go to a barbecue, man. But if this guy sounds like this, bruh, stay away, man.
Hey, Giant, it's called dedication, man. That's what it comes down to, man. And, hey, we're going to have the Throwdown show because we're always jam-packed here. We got games. We got recaps. There's been videos posted on the website as always, So we got the West Rock. We got the ACFL South Touch, and what is it, week 8 here now? So, there's only like 1 week left in the Touch and I believe like 2 or 3 in the indoor. So, know. Seatings are getting paired up there, man. It's shaping up right now, so
Yeah, and we'll have more on that next week. So we'll move on to West Rock. MPI 2-2 versus second gen 4-1, and NPI in the opening drive on the fourth down with the quarterback scramble by Pete, but a great pull by Christian, yards short of the end zone. Second gen takes over and goes the distance with a touchdown pass by none other than Kenny to who else? Ramon, 6-0. MPI on another trip in the red zone, but come out with absolutely 0 points over there. And second gen with another long drive. This time it's TJ with the touchdown, 12-0. Second gen. MPI takes another trip. It's deja vu all over again. This time they convert on the fourth down with an amazing pass to Zach, a.k.a. Shockey. Shout out to Shockey as well. 12-6. It's only 12-6 at the half. In the end, it's all second gen in the second half. 19 points, and they hold MPI, absolutely scoreless. And what a pathetic ending to this game. Flanny, how does anybody watch this? The final score, 31-6. I thought it would have been a little bit closer than this.
I thought so too. I mean, the first half seemed like it could have went either way. NPI kept it close early on. They had a couple trips in the red zone. They couldn't convert. That was a great pull there right before the goal line. But tremendous catch by Shockey in the first half there made it a 12-6 game. But like you said, that second half, all second gen on there. TJ, Ramon, great games here. Kenny, again, 4 TD passes here, The guy leads the league in passes. And it's just, NPI did not have an answer on defense. It seemed like every time second gen had the ball, they scored, So, when that happens, you got to stop them, man. And, when Kenny throws 4 touchdowns, Giant, second gen is not losing the game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's losing the game when Kenny scored 4 touchdowns in a game. Let's move along to the next game. Revolution, this dud of a game by the two bags of dicks at the bottom of the standings. Revolution 1-4 versus the Punishers 0-5. And once again, I'm tired of kind of repeating this. The Punishers' offensive struggles continue. On the opening drive, Tyree is picked off by Lambone, and it is a pick six for a touchdown, 7-0 Revolution. Punishers on the next drive coming in short of the goal line, then are intercepted again. Revolution converts on a fourth down. Garces to Andrew touchdown, 14-0 Revolution. Punishers with the last possession before the half and are intercepted again. Now, thankfully, it's only 14-0 at the half. Revolution is up, man. More interceptions by the Punishers in the second half, and it's all Revolution. 35-0. Fourth week in a row now the Punishers are shut out. They're not even making it to the playoffs. Revolution is 2-4. Punishers is 0-6. I'll give credit to the Revolution, but how much credit can you give when you're playing an absolutely worthless team that's on? They're a dumpster fire that's already incinerated.
Well, I'm thinking of Giant. I'm thinking of something positive to say about this Punisher team. I can't think of any, man. I mean, we could sit here and maybe talk about Jerome's how big Jerome's triceps are, you know. But we're gonna talk about football.
Cool. He don't feed his arms. He feeds his. He don't feed his mouth. He feeds his arms, Jerome. That's what he does, man.
But when we talk about football, we're talking about the West Rock, the Punishers team, man. I mean, it was a punishment just filming the game, you know, so, or the people that have to watch the video. 35-0, 4 interceptions here. They did take some shots. I give them credit to that, man. They took shots. I was hoping they scored, man. I mean, Tyree came maybe an inch. It wasn't even a yard short. The other one, they put another quarterback in the second half, and he ran. Here's the thing: he ran it in, but the thing is, he dove into the end zone. You cannot dive into the end zone in flag football, and it's where the torso is anyway. So there's no point, you know, stretching out with the ball. But what happened is. He didn't even have to do the dive. I don't think the defender was around to get him. Unfortunately, he did, and result was a penalty, loss of down, and that was as close as they got to the end zone. But 35-0. Hey, Revolution came with full force here. I think they had like 20 guys on that sideline. They did not have McLaughlin. Now, here's the thing. McLaughlin plays on the weekends for this team. And it's very difficult for them to get him on the weeknights. When they could, you know, he's going to start. Absolutely.
Right.
Garces came in this game. But like you mentioned last week, Giant, I don't think it mattered who quarterbacked here in this game because Revolution was on fire. It was great to see Weeze back in the lineup as well. Then the guy just came off vacation somewhere. He wasn't even suited up, man, with his jeans and all. Came in on the field. But, you know, he had a big game. Andrew had a big game. This whole Revolution team on Poland with 2 interceptions. And that's all she wrote, man.
All right, so that's what we got from last week. We'll go over this week's matchups. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, MPI 2-3 versus Punishers 0-6. Last meeting in week number 4 was MPI winning 13-0. I mean, what can you say? There's nothing good to say. Maybe Jerome could. Maybe throw a touchdown pass? Maybe.
Well, I hear there might be going with another quarterback tonight, so we'll see.
They didn't figure that out 2 weeks ago?
Well, here's the thing, man. Last time was 13-0. It was week 4. Punishers haven't scored a point in the last 4 weeks, you know. They got 2 games left here, Giant. They're winless at this point. If they're going to score any points on here, it's going to have to be tonight, you know, against this MPI team because they finished the season against second gen. And, you know, they're going to have to do it tonight. They're going to have to try to get the win. This is their best chance to do so here against the MPI team who's been struggling as of late. So, you know, I expect a good game here, man, but I got to take NPI. I'm not going to take a winless team, especially a team that has not scored. But I think if Punishers could get on the board here somehow, you know, whoever it is, man, whether it's a new quarterback, whether it's somebody making a big play, once they get on that board, man, I think they could light a fire here and possibly make this a game here against this MPI team. Last time, it was only a 2-score game, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, nobody's picking the Punishers forever and ever.
Well, I
Amen.
know it's a new team too. I mean, I can't go hard on them. I mean, it's a new team. A lot of these other teams and players have been in the league for quite some time, so there's always improvement. And listen, every team makes the playoffs, and it's. I mean, when we get to the ACFL South Giant, we had a team as the Wolverines that were 0-5, winless, have now gotten a 2-game winning streak. So. There's still time for this. It's how you end the season, and record does not matter in the playoffs, Giants. It's just they got to find a way to improve. Definitely got to find a way to put up points, man. So
Yeah. All right. So the next game is Express 5-0 versus Revolution 2-4. Yes, Revolution lit it up last week. Not going to be enough for Express, in my opinion. And I think Express is just going to tell them, you want 20 of those cheerleaders, they're going to be, their mascara is going to be running down their face from crying so much. And I think Express is going to absolutely destroy them. They were off last week, man. They want to show the league, show me what you're working with. That's exactly what Express is going to do. What do you think, Flanny?
I mean, they are 5-0. They are the undefeated team here, But I think Revolution puts up a good game here. Last meeting was 19-12. That was with McLaughlin in the lineup, he's got to be there tonight. He's got to be there for this to be a game. They got to have everybody, man. Because last time when they played the Express, they were without Weeze, they were without Limpone. A lot of these playmakers on this Revolution team that we saw this past week, got to be there, man, to make this a game. And I mean, Garces did not look so bad. So last week. So I mean, if they have to go with the backup quarterback, that's fine. But they still need the lineups there. Here's the thing, Giant. I've heard there's been a lot of talk on social media here by these teams. There's a lot of trash talk going on now. I don't know if it's a good idea to fire up Hollywood of the Express team because this guy's hot, Giant. He's had 5 TD passes in his last 2 games, and
He's stunning. He's stunning. It's
so it's either a good thing, could be a good thing, or a bad thing here, man. You don't want to blow that fuse, but I think it's gonna be a competitive game here tonight between these two teams, man.
Okay. All right, so we'll
But I'll
find
take.
out.
I gotta go with you too. I gotta take the undefeated Express team unless somebody knocks them down, man.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move along to the ACFL South now with the Jokerz 4-2 versus All Madden 4-2. Should have been the game of the week, but it does not appear that was the way. And we both picked All Madden. I mean, All Madden. All they were all interceptions as they throw 4 interceptions in just the first half. 34-7 Jokerz at the half. 36-21 is the final. I mean, All Madden, they made the score look a little bit better than the half, but this game was not even close. All Madden got their asses kicked. They got outclassed and absolutely dismantled. Flanny, what else do you have on this game?
I agree with you, man. I mean, people look at the score here, they're going to see 36-21, but this was not a competitive game at all. This game was over at halftime. 34-7 Giant at the half. And, you throw 4 interceptions in the first half. That's just horrendous, man. Horrendous. And I think they got another interception in the second half. And then, even I think an interception on a conversion that went to the house. So, but I can't just blame the quarterback there for Old Madden. I think this was a whole team meltdown here on the Old Madden team. One things I noticed in this game. They tried 2 different centers, and what happened is when you do that, the snap count's not there. What happened? 2 full starts back to back. Now you put in your quarterback in a position where he's got to throw the long ball just to get the first down, and result they get picked off. There was an interception that went to the house in that first half. Plus, there was a lot of key drops, man. There was a lot of deep balls that they should have got, or receivers did not fully run their route there. So, yes, 5 interceptions by this quarterback does not look good on his stats here, but I think this whole Old Madden team, and here's the thing, man, here's another thing on this game. the Jokerz did not have their quarterback in the beginning of this game. I think the first 3 or 4 possessions in this game, their starting quarterback was not there. They were actually playing Giant with 5 guys in the beginning on here, and it was a 7-6 game here. The only score that the Old Madden team got was early on in this game. Once they got their quarterback, the 6th guy, they shut him down the rest of this, half there. The second half, Giant, it was just garbage football, man, at that point. You know what I mean? The game was over. They got those 2 touchdowns. I think the Jokerz team got robbed by a touchdown that should have been a touchdown in that second half, but still, man, I expected a competitive game here. I actually thought Old Madden, because of their last couple games, they were on a roll here, and this game meant a lot to the Old Madden team, because here's the thing: this would have set up a final Week 8 game against Tenyard Fight for the number 1 spot. But with this loss here, Giant, they can't move up anywhere in the standings. The Jokerz will be at number 2, and Tenyard Fight, the number 1, 2, 3. Are sealed. Regardless of what happens here in week number 8, neither team can move up and down, because even if Old Madden wins the next game, Jokerz lose, Jokerz have 2 wins here against Old Madden, so they got the head-to-head differential there in the standings. But I was very disappointed here. Giant Old Madden team on here, the only time they were really good was when they had the All Mob team on there, and a lot of these guys were not there this week, and they just, the Jokerz looks like they're ready for the playoffs, Giant. I don't know about you.
Yeah, there's no question. These guys are ready. They're pumped up. They back it up too. They had the loss, I think, week 1. After that, then they had a off week a couple of weeks ago. But other than that, they're absolutely solid team. Let's move along to the next game. Unfortunately, there was no film coverage this past weekend.
I apologize for that, man. The film. Here's the thing, man. Now, I've heard some stuff on the sidelines with the Wolverines, like, why don't you film our games? Why don't you get your film? The 2 weeks that most of the weeks, the Wolverines teams, the games are the last one. It's like the end, and it's hard to stay for all 3 games, It's a lot of hours, plus my travel there and back. When I do all 3 games, it takes pretty much the whole day, So, and the 2 weeks that they had the early games, I did not film at all. So yes, I did not capture Wolverines as much this season. Plus, when you're 0-5 in the beginning of the season, that was another reason. But I have captured every team at least twice. I'm looking to do at least 3. Some teams got more, maybe 4 or 5 weeks of film. But here's the thing: you make it every team makes it in the playoffs, and if the Wolverines advance in the playoffs, that's guaranteed 3 weeks of film there, so I'll give them that. But yeah, I wish I got this game. I mean, it looked like this was probably the game of the week this week.
Yeah.
As opposed, I thought the Old Madden team was going to show up, put a competitive game, but this one looked like it was a barn burner, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final score was 31-24. Definitely looks like a tough battle this game. Wolverines get their second win of the season. And on top of that, they're on a 2-game winning streak since starting the season 0-5. Now, in fairness, this week it was against the 2-4 Warriors, but still, man, you get 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. Now you're feeling a little bit better. They're bitching to you that you haven't filmed the games, So I mean, but dude, you got to do what you got to do too.
Yeah. But record come playoff Giant, record does not mean anything. It's what you've been doing, like you said, recently. And these guys have been winning, which is a good sign, heading into the playoffs. They got 1 more week left, 1 game left. I think that's against the 6. So, hey, here's a team that was 0-5, bottom of the barrel here, and they could finish this season at that number 4 spot. So, right now, there's a 3-way tie, 2-5, 3 teams at 2-5 there, man.
All right, so the last game we're going to recap tonight is Tenyard Fight 5-1 versus the 6 2-4. The 6 should be the 5, as they only showed up with 5 guys for this game, and Tenyard Fight takes advantage of the a missing member for an easy 6-0 start. And then the 6, they dropped an easy TD pass, and it remained 6-0. And of course, the rest of my page didn't print out. What else you got there on the?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, they showed up with 5 guys. I mean, the sixth guy I think came in like last minutes left in the first half. And there's a questionable TD by Tenyard Fight. Looked like it hit the ground. Was ruled as a catch. Made it 12-0. Luckily, the 6 got on the board, man. They scored a touchdown with only the 5 players. Made it a 12-6 game in the first half. And then they got a big stop. They got an interception here against the Tenyard Fight. So they had a chance here to tie it up before the half. But what happened, Giant? Pick 6 to the house. 20-6 at the half here.
All right. Yeah, so here we go. I got it up now. So the second half, the 6 get the ball, and they score right away. First play of the half, deep bomb, 20-12. It's an 8-point game at this point. 10-yard fight. They get picked off, and the 6 try to tie it up. They get a long pass caught inside the 10-yard line, but they are unable to score. To make matters worse, they throw an INT in the red zone, and that's all she wrote. That's as close as they would get. 10-yard fight, take over, and open a can of whoop ass. The final score is 34-18. So, I mean, that's what happened. So 10-yard fight is now 6-1, and the 6 is 2-5.
Yeah. I was disappointed in the 6 performance here this game. There was no reason of these guys losing this game here. Couple key factors here in this game, and I got a couple scoops, this past week about the 10-yard fight. Here's a team that lost to that Wolverines team that ended the perfect season. Their quarterback, Kevin, on here has been out the last 3 weeks now. Where Tenyard Fight still won 2 out of the 3 games without their starting quarterback. He's out with a wrist injury. It happened in the game prior to that. It's actually on film, I think off of special teams. I don't know why he was on the special teams. That's what happens. You put a quarterback special teams. It was a wrist injury.
Asking for trouble. Yeah, you're asking for trouble.
But it's a wrist injury. I think he's out for like 4 to 5 weeks for the 10-yard fight. Now, lucky for them, there's we got this Memorial Week on here break. And then they're already clinched the first spot, regardless whether they win or not in week 8. So I don't know if you want to play him the next week. But come playoff time, he should be ready though. But is he gonna be rusty? Who knows, man? I mean, all these weeks he hasn't been there.
Now, just one question. You want to go over the predictions for 2 weeks, or we'll go over it next week? Probably next week we'll go over
it's up. I mean, I guess we could leave content for next week, because I definitely want to do still another show next week. We're not going to go a week without doing a show, regardless Memorial Week or not.
Right.
Regardless if it's Holy Thursday, Giant, we're having the throwdown, man.
I can tell, because I don't go to church on Holy Thursdays, man. I save them for Friday and Easter Sunday. So.
Was disappointed about the 6 here, man. Like I said, you're playing against a backup quarterback against 10-yard fight. This was their best shot to beat this team here, I thought. And, it hurt. They had the 5 guys, early on. But it was, in that second half, when they started the game, the first play, right off the bat, boom, touchdown, deep bomb, and it was only an 8-point game. But, the problem here is the 6 offense. I think they should have went deep all game long. Run the deep routes, run the fades, the post patterns. Send all 4 guys deep. I mean, why not? The 10-yard fight defense, what they do, they'll bring 2 guys in. They bring a guy in, and then maybe another guy comes on the delay blitz. So they're bringing 2 guys in on there. If you're sending everybody deep, 4, it worked. I mean, their touchdowns were off of deep bombs, that they caught, or they got a penalty, a pass interference call, It's where they struggled when they did the short route passes. One ended up going for an interception touchdown. In the red zone, they struggled. So that short game was not working for the six. I think on the short game, they should just either ran with the quarterback or just dump it off to the center and just kept doing the deep ball because they got great receivers out there that were doing a fantastic job on the deep ball, and they should have kept attacking that right side of the field. I don't know why they switched it on here. It's not cheap. It's not, if it's working, keep doing it. I was disappointed. I thought six should have won this game. The gameplay coming in this game, the 5 players and all, was just and they can't only blame themselves on here, man.
Right. Right. So we'll leave the predictions for next week, but I know you got an announcement of a new idea for the playoff game. So why don't you go over that, Flanny?
Yeah, and it mainly has to do with the touch, with the South touch. As you guys seen last week, I did the whole player cards things for the West Rock. We got all the player names there where we do the stats on the West Rock facility. And playoffs is coming up. I want to do something for the playoffs, especially as far as the video wise on there. One thing I definitely want to do. Especially for the championship game. We're going to try to get the interviews on the field prior to the games, post-game, pre-game. But I also want to do play-by-play commentary on the championship game. And in order for us to do so, I need the player names. So what I'm going to do, we got a whole week off for the touch because this Sunday we're off.
Right.
I'm going to try to get, if I could get the names, if I could get all the representative from each team, send me the names. I'll make a post on the message board later on in the week with the photos of each guy, and just if somebody could respond with the names.
Right.
Also, like I said, I could bring this into the videos on there with the lineups and all. On the Throwdown shows here, we could mention these guys' names instead of the 6th quarterback or the Warriors safety. We'll say the guy's name. And I could also introduce the player cards like I did in the West Rock with the touch. So that's something to look forward to. I'm thinking of different ideas for the playoffs. I already have some new graphics and stuff ready to go for that. So that's coming up in the weeks, and I think this is a great time to do it here since we're off on this Sunday. I only have the 2 games to edit for tonight from the West Rock.
All right. So not only that, but what did I want to say too? Yeah, I apologize because my computer was updating with like 16 million gigs of updates for Windows 10. So it was a pain in the ass. I didn't get it up till late. You heard me ask Flanny to finish the rest of the of the first half for the Tenyard Fight versus the 6. So I apologize about that. Next week we'll go over the player cards that we do have. We went over a few of them last week as well. It's really cool over there on ACFL.net. And make sure you guys click the subscribe. Give us your feedback over here as well. We appreciate that as well. And be safe this holiday weekend as well. Don't be a moron. You guys know, don't drink and drive, all right? And remember why we have Memorial Day. It's for all these soldiers for this country who gave their lives, the ultimate sacrifice. And we thank you, and we hope you can keep them and their families in your thoughts and in your prayers. Flanny, anything else you got?
Man, I'm actually looking forward for this week. Couple of days off here, get the barbecues, the pool was ready, man, and hopefully we got some good weather for the weekend. So.
All right, guys, make sure you continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Jim Flanagan, Giant918, signing out. Have a good night, everybody.